Hi, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So, in today's video,
Is there any realm of possibility where you'd let me go to Colombia, Costa Rica, or the Dominican Republic with just me and my friends?
Just go. Have you noticed that I don't care anymore?
I actually have noticed that, and it's pissing me off. Why doesn't she care
That's why
anymore?
that's why you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah, you don't care at all anymore.
I know, it's kind of boring, right?
I
With
know.
the fight.
I used to hide my phone. Now she comes over and it's just like girls' asses clapping on Instagram. And she's like, girl power, love it. That's what she'll say to me. She'll be like, well, you want something to eat, honey? She just doesn't care. So are you having an affair? That's the question.
No, I don't want to be bothered.
You're at that point of the relationship where you just don't even care at all either way.
No.
Indifference.
Don't care.
That's good.
But I love you.
I love you too.
yeah. A lot of things did cross my mind when I watched the video. First, because I saw this lady who was talking about always love and she loves him so much and so she doesn't really care. She gives him grace and she's matured and she's secured in the relationship, right? And that could be the case, right? But it could also be that she has detached from a lot of things. It could be that she has come to that place where it's like, you know what? I know most of the things you do is to get a kind of reaction out of me. And I'm not going to give you that satisfaction anymore. If this is what you want to do, you do it. And somewhere last year, there was this viral Twitter thread where men were talking about the phase where they are no longer attracted to their girlfriends, but they stay in the relationship. And this is something similar to that, in my opinion. But with women, it's detachment. Because sometimes with women, there's so many reasons why they cannot leave a toxic relationship, a narcissistic relationship, an abusive relationship. But for them to survive in that kind of environment, they have to learn to detach, right? Because you've done it, you've tried it, you've done so many things, you've gotten a rise out of them, you've gotten them crying, shouting, and then it gets to a point they realize that why am I doing all of these things, right? Nothing I do is going to change this guy. This is how he is. This is who he is. And I have to find a way to survive till I'm ready to leave the relationship, right? And so this, to me, it looks like detachment. It looks like she's come to that place where, well, quote and unquote, she's maybe emotionally matured, or she has just checked out emotionally from him and all the things that he does to her. But I would like to know your opinions about this. So let's get into some of the responses, and I'm going to come back and talk some more. And don't forget to leave your opinions in the comment section. Thank you.
My friends?
Just go. Have you noticed that I don't care anymore?
I actually have noticed that, and it's pissing me off. Why doesn't she care
That's why
anymore?
that's why you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah, you don't care at all anymore. I used to hide my phone. Now she comes over and it's just like girls' asses clapping on Instagram. And she's like, girl power, love it. She just doesn't care. So are you having an affair? That's the question.
No, I don't want to be bothered.
You're at that point of the relationship where you just don't even care.
She just gave him such a big clue. And it just went over his head. So clearly he used to do a lot of things that would bother her. And she got to the point to where it had hurt her so many times to where she just had to emotionally detach herself from the situation because she doesn't want to feel bothered about it anymore. And obviously he wasn't stopping whatever he was doing. This is what people do when they have to self-preserve and protect themselves. It's either leave or stop caring. And a lot of the times when people stop caring, they end up leaving. And he's making jokes about it and laughing and saying, oh yeah, I always have girls' asses clapping on my Instagram feed. And she used to care, now she doesn't. Clueless, absolutely clueless. And then people are blindsided when the partner that has had enough leaves. Well, I didn't see it coming. Well, that shocked me. They'll say, oh, there were no signs. Those are the signs. Those are big, huge billboards.
Did y'all see that video where the guy's asking his wife, is there a possibility that she would let him go to Colombia, Costa Rica, or Dominican Republic with his friends? And she's like, just go. I could care less. Now, mind you, those places are known for prostitution. 304. And she's like, just go. Haven't you noticed I don't care about what you do anymore? My good sir, you are single. She has left you up here. The minute a woman stops caring about how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk, your actions, the actions that she's probably been nagging at you to change for the longest, when she just don't have nothing to say no more, she is gone. The only reason she's still there is she's working it out logistically at this point on how she can walk away from you, especially if y'all got kids. It's a wrap. When she stops doing this and doing this, you better go get the good pen because you about to sign them papers. That's all I know.
A lot of people don't understand why men cheat. And that's why they say things like, oh, it's just because men are visual. They want variety. Let that man cheat in peace. Oh, as long as he comes home to you. Men are cheating because they want to steal your peace. There's no such thing as letting him cheat in peace. He's flaunting what he's doing, trying to get a reaction out of her. Because her reaction is the point, not the other women. And that's why a lot of men start with the micro cheating, the messaging of old girlfriends, looking at porn, liking half-naked pictures of girls on Instagram, doing things he knows is disrespectful. It's all about testing you, pushing your buttons. He's the one bringing up his bad behavior. It's clear he's not trying to get away with it. You know, cheating is a form of abuse. It's no different than verbal abuse because what he's doing is he's triangulating you with another woman. He's setting you up to think that you are less than, so you'll be obsessing over his approval. And that's why men will so often criticize you on a certain characteristic. You're too tall, and he'll go out and cheat with a girl who's 6 feet. You were just 5'7". You're too big. Oh my God, you've gained weight. I'm losing attraction to you. Yeah, you're still in the single sizes. He's cheating with a plus size queen. You're too something, and he goes out and cheats with a woman who's got way more of it than you. Or he'll get that mental triangulation going. He's constantly comparing you to an ex, but simultaneously that ex couldn't do anything right. According to him, she spent all his money, she drove too fast, she cheated on him and kicked his puppy. Yet at the same time, he's always constantly comparing you. Well, so-and-so did things like this. Well, she didn't let the house be like this, and her figure was like this, and yours is like that. The reason her identity, according to him, is always shifting is because what he wants is always shifting. What he's telling you about other women is in accordance to what he needs at that moment. If he's on a complimentary tear, if he's talking about how her body was all that and she made him feel like this, that, and the third, she was wilder, she was hotter, he's trying to get something out of you. He's trying to force you to perform in the way she supposedly used to. In reality, she probably didn't even do that stuff. And it's just the inverse if he's telling you something negative about a woman. 9 times out of 10, that thing never happened. She never cheated on him. She never spent his money. She never kicked his puppy. But he's telling you she did those things so you won't ask him to spend any money on you. So you'll feel compelled to stay in the house. And if he's telling you that she cheated, it's probably to get your mind off the fact he's probably cheating on you. He gets your mind all mixed up and tells you, oh, I have trust issues because my last partner cheated on me. You instantly become paranoid about not seeming trustworthy. So you want to go above and beyond to show him, hey, you trust him. No trust issues in this relationship, and you're letting him get away with murder because he's planted it in your head. If you show suspicions, that means there's no trust in the relationship. Hey, you're acting shady. Maybe you're cheating just like she was. Men would use their power for good. They're far from dumb. It's just that they dedicate most of their brain power to manipulating women. But it's because, as I told you the other day, women are the shortcut. Men think of success. They think, oh, I'm going to get money, power, fame, and women. Why do all that hard work when they can just get women and feel like they really already made it? And he doesn't want his emotional supply to dry up. So he has to keep triangulating you with the other women. He has to keep playing with your mind and making you feel insecure. Because if he doesn't play these games, what's left? He's afraid you're going to see what he sees every time he looks in the mirror. A mediocre man who only makes his living gossiping. He says, I'm not spectacular. I'm not all that brilliant. I'm no Nobel laureate. I look okay, but there are a lot more handsome and fit guys in the world. How can I keep my wife from realizing I'm no prize? Oh yeah, I'll make her feel insecure. And it's very sad that this is how men think. They haven't gotten out of that kindergarten mentality yet. And if you read relationship books, the men will confess to this stuff for themselves when they're being interviewed. Oh yeah, I'm out with a hot woman. I look at the other woman to make her feel insecure. Things aren't going my way in the relationship. I start talking to my girl best friend or some woman in my circle. They want that attention. and simultaneously to make their wife feel unhappy, make her feel insecure in the relationship. If I don't give in, if I don't let him have his way, he's just going to go to the next customer. And this is why I tell you to leave at the first red flag. Men like that, their brains are not fully developed. They are exactly who they're always going to be. If you don't want an immature, narcissistic albatross around your neck for the next 40 years, get rid of him at the first red flag. Because this is just a little boy throwing a tantrum. Imagine, instead of going to your wife, somebody who you're married to, and being open enough to be emotionally vulnerable and say, hey, I could use some reassurance. Are we on the same page in this relationship? I need to feel loved. I need to feel validated. I need to feel as though you need me. If men were honest about their needs, they could actually have them met. But rather than being honest because they think being vulnerable is gay or something, in the pejorative way that they use it, not that it's negative to be, but they will emotionally manipulate and torture their partners to get that same validation. And that's why it's abusive. It has nothing to do with wanting something new. And this is why men who are in situations like where they have hall passes, or some men who are in polyamorous relationships who have parameters where they can still see other women, will violate those parameters, because it was never about the ability to be with another woman sexually. It was about the ability to violate your boundaries. It was about making you feel uncomfortable and unsafe, because by making you feel unsafe, they feel safe and secure. It is a sickness. Watch out for men like that. Like and follow for more.
This man done sat up here on this podcast and asked his woman, do you care if I take a solo trip to Costa Rica or to the Dominican Republic? And she looked him dead in his eye and was like, I don't care. I don't care what you do. And this man stopped at that moment and looked at everybody else like they were the problem and was like, that makes me mad. That makes me upset at the fact that she does not care. She got to be cheating. So to take it a step further, he was like, are you cheating? Because, like, you don't care about nothing. You don't care if I'm online, on social media, watching other women twerk. You don't care if I'm messaging other women. You don't care if I meet up with other women. You don't care if I talk to other women. Like, you don't care about nothing that I do outside this relationship. Therefore, the only type of woman who would not care to this extent is a woman who's cheating. So, are you cheating? And she turned around and looked at him and was like, no, I just don't care. I'm at peace. When I tell y'all she ate with that line, I'm at peace, because she recognizes that she's in a relationship with a man who just simply won't change. And if she continues to give her energy time and time again to the bullshit that he's doing, eventually she's going to hold resentment. She's going to be upset. She's going to be crying. She's going to have all these feelings and emotions behind what he's doing, knowing that he won't change. But instead of doing that, she's just accepting the fact that this is who he is and learning how to live with it and being at peace with it. And this man cannot take that, because he cannot accept the fact that she's okay with him doing all the things and not caring, and she's not out there doing the same thing or reciprocating the energy towards him in the relationship. And instead of his question being, hey, are you cheating on me? It should be more so, what am I doing or not doing for her to feel that way? That was a moment for his brain to go, maybe it's time for me to self-reflect. Maybe it's time for me to look inward. That way I have a better understanding as to why this woman has checked out this relationship. Because if she's at peace and she's not cheating, then how is it possible for her to stay with me knowing what kind of man that I am? Because realistically speaking, how can you as a man get mad at a woman for checking out when you're the reason and the cause of her checking out? It's almost like your anger should be redirected at yourself, but I could be wrong.
Here are 3 tips to help you detach from someone emotionally. So what does it even mean to detach from someone? So first, you become less attached to their behavior and feelings. Second, you reevaluate your perception of the connection with them. And third, you adjust the emotional investment that you have with them to a level that's more bearable. You're recentering your attention to yourself and not to another person. So the first one's a little bit counterintuitive, but I actually want you to allow yourself to feel all of the emotions that are coming up. So often we shame ourselves when we're trying to detach from somebody because it's, oh God, I need to stop. And you're so hard on stopping it, but the more you resist, it'll persist. So when a feeling comes up, validate it. Okay, I'm feeling a little sad. Okay, I miss this person. We can hold 2 truths at once. You can miss somebody and also know that they're not good for you. So missing them and having feelings is normal because you're a fucking human, but acting on them is when we need to put a speed bump. The second thing is learn to respond, not react. I get it. You might be triggered, and so the first thing you want to do is text them or get that validation, or maybe they reach out of nowhere after no contact and you're like, oh God. So instead of making any decisions, put your phone down, regulate your nervous system, and give yourself a minute. Give yourself some space between the reaction that you were just going to do and maybe what the response is that you'd like to do. So instead of reaching for your phone and spiraling on social media for 30 minutes and going down this rabbit hole, maybe you go for a walk. And because you put some space in between your reaction and the response time, you're actually able to say, whoa, wait, what's happening in my body? What's going on? What's the narrative? Okay, you know what? I need to regulate my nervous system because right now I'm feeling like I'm not safe and I need to do something to bring myself back to now. And the third thing I want you to do is be really fucking compassionate with yourself. No, there's nothing wrong with you because you miss somebody that doesn't want to be with you, but we need to stop conflating the two. Do you genuinely miss this person? Do you genuinely care about them? Are you so attached to them? Or did you guys genuinely connect and that connection has come to an end? Whatever it is, it's okay. If this is reminiscent of something from when you were a kid, if this reminds you of a past relationship, you don't feel like you trust yourself, whatever the fuck comes up, that's okay. Meet yourself with love and compassion. There is no way that you are going to be able to move on from somebody if you shame and blame yourself.
The other thing I was thinking was it could be a manipulation tactic, okay? Where he's like, oh, you don't care. You know, you are one of those women who is like emotionally matured and you don't care what I do. Do you? And then she's like, no, I don't care. You know, you can go wherever, you can do whatever. You know, I'm not like that. I have grown and I've come to that place where I understand that this and the third, right? And so he's like, oh, my wife doesn't care. This is how I get the pass, okay? So maybe initially in the beginning of their relationship, it's like he does it to get a rise out of her, but now he's using that same thing to allow himself to do certain things that he's not supposed to be doing, if it makes sense. Okay. So she is at that place where she's like almost praised for her maturity, but then at the same time, her maturity is being used against her, if it makes sense. But it's just my opinion, right? But when you learn the art of detachment, it saves you from a lot of drama and BS, to be honest. Like when you learn to emotionally disconnect from somebody, it's so powerful. Maybe for businesses, maybe for whatever reasons, right? And you know that this relationship is not going anywhere, or this person is not going to change. This person is not going to be that kind of person that you thought that they were, right? And so it's like the more you try, the more they disappoint you. The more you do, the more they try to get a rise out of you. The more they kind of dangle a carrot of possibility just to let you down. And you get to the place and you're like, you know what? This is it. I've tried so much. I've tried so hard and nothing is changing, right? And so you detach. Anyone who tries to make you jealous or uses other women to make you jealous is a very immature and emotionally unstable man, all right? And this guy looks like one of those guys who enjoys like, oh, she's so jealous. Oh, when she sees me with this person, it's like this. And now that he doesn't get that, he's like, what's going on? And now he's trying to find other avenues. Like, what kind of games? Like, I don't understand. You're too grown to be doing that, all right? Other women have to look at your relationship and be like, oh, girl, you're so blessed to have a man like this in your life. But if you don't feel any type of empathy towards her and all you want to do is get her angry and jealous and, you know, she's texting you 50 times and it makes you feel some type of way, go sit in front of somebody. Because you have issues. You have very deep-seated issues. You are not matured in that sense, all right? But like I said, it's a powerful thing if you are in some form of a toxic situation. Yeah, the art of detachment will save you a great deal. Like when you learn to master your emotions and are not invested in a lot of the things that they do. And so you are not calling all the time, testing all the time, driving after them to see where they are going. You're going to find another level of peace. And I know it takes a lot of women a while to get there. But when they do get there, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, and it looks like you're at that place where she doesn't care anymore, the end is near. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and thank you for watching. Bye.